Okay, so I want to address this. So many people have been writing into us, sending us emails, people that are paying in super chats asking me to address Erica Kirk. And I guess my question back would be what is there for me to address? She hasn't sat down for a long interview. All we have seen from Erica has been the speech at the memorial event for Charlie Kirk. I see the innuendo that is online. I am interested in investigating who killed Charlie Kirk. And the people that I have been reserving my ire for, my smoke for, my investigation for are the people that are blatantly lying. Okay. People that are just lying about Charlie Kirk. That was my reason for going after Alex Clark. She lied about the Catholic thing. That was my reason for going after Andrew Colvett, Mikey McCoy. Anybody that's told a lie, Rob McCoy, blood all over him, you got my attention. What lie has Erica told that I'm supposed to be focused on? Okay, like, has she said something about, did she come out and say, Charlie never had an issue with Israel in the end? He loved Israel to his dying breath. She hasn't done that. She simply hasn't done that. What we have around the corner is a big interview that's going to be dropping this week. Erica Kirk sat down with Jesse Waters, and I can tell you, Charlie loved Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters gave us the most playtime on Fox News back in the beginning. That was the big show that we got to book. And so it's a good fit. It's a fitting program for her to go on to. If she was sitting down with like Bibi Netanyahu's entourage, I might have something to say. But everything that she has done has been, she's been having conversations with people who were actually friends with Charlie. Erica is also, I think, slated to join Megyn Kelly on tour. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I saw that being teased. Charlie opened up to Megyn in the end. Megyn stood 10 toes down on telling the truth, which is why I deeply respect her for doing this, about the pressure that Charlie was under. And it was not easy for Megyn to do that, okay? She is still catching heat for the fact that she did that. So I feel like Erica is kind of sending a message here that she's not standing against the people that are telling the truth. I said early on, if Erica Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet. She didn't ask me to be quiet.
Relationship with Candace Owens, no.
She's a great friend. You know, look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country with Candace. I went to her wedding. I saw her meet her husband. I went to Israel with Candace, which is a fun story I'll tell you at some point. But what I don't like is when people demand, you must stop being friends with somebody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a left-wing tactic. Don't do that. I'm not saying you do that, but other people do that. We should never resort to that. In fact, if you believe what I believe, shouldn't you want me to be friends with people that don't agree with us? Shouldn't you want me to also be a tool of influence? And so I think the world of Candace. She's a great mother. She certainly has very, very fun opinions at times. And she's a great talent. She says a lot of stuff that sometimes I don't agree with, but that's what makes our relationship and our friendship interesting.
At one point in time, Candace was saying to everyone, you know, she's going to war with TPUSA. She want all the smoke. If Erica told her to stop talking about Charlie, she'll stop talking about Charlie. She just wanted to go to Turning Point and just turn up, but she wanted to do it in her way. But when they actually called her out saying, hey, yes, you can come, we can have a discussion, we can talk about the things that you're saying, the things that you're accusing us of, then she found a way to back out. That is a typical narcissistic move, because here, like I was saying before, when it comes to a narcissist, you can't just argue back and forth with them, because that's what they love. That's what they feed off of, drama. The only thing you can do with a narcissist is be calm and just talk directly to them about the truth. If they're saying something is a lie, then if you have proof, prove them wrong. If they're saying they know something, they got evidence, ask them for the evidence. That's what she doesn't want, because she knows she doesn't have anything to stand on. She doesn't have truth to stand on. Everything she's talking about is speculation, things she's thinking about, things she's thinking out loud. Because if you think back to Charlie Kirk when he was speaking about Candace as a friend, And he was saying, a person like me, you should want me to be friends with people like Candace so I can sway them back over to the other side. And then he mentioned, about Candace and her, how she thinking, he said something about, she got some kind of almost like saying she has crazy idea. I think back then Charlie realized that she was a narcissist. I think back then Charlie realized having conversations with her, some of her conversation was all up here. And then she brought it out as if it was fact, as if she was know it for certain, but she had no proof. Every text message that she wants to show is back in 2018. She got married in 2019, and with the trajectory that Charlie was on about faith and family, I think he actually stopped texting her as friends, because why would he be that close of a friend with another man's wife? The same way he would not want a man texting his wife, because I think they got married, if I'm not mistaken, in May of 2021. That's when Charlie and Erica got married. And so Candace keeps speaking as if her and Charlie had this girlfriend, boyfriend, like friends, but, on the phone, chit-chatting, texting back and forth. Charlie outgrew that. Candace didn't. When they both was on the road traveling, they're young. They're not in relationships. They're texting each other back and forth. You got to understand, these are teenagers, young adults in their early 20s, going back and forth texting. Now, people grow up, people mature, and people move on. That's what Charlie did, because he still had a vision and a trajectory that he was trying to take TPUSA on. With Candace, she had Blexit. But Candace is not dealing with Blexit anymore. Her trajectory was supposed to be Blexit, bringing people from, the black people from the Democratic Party and transferring them over to the Republican Party. But she did not put her heart and soul in that. The way she talked, you only think her heart and soul was in TPUSA with Charlie. But you had a whole company yourself with Officer Tatum called Blexit. Why wasn't your heart and soul in that? Why wasn't you pushing that? Why wasn't you trying to get that on the forefront? Blexit at this point should have been a Turning Point USA. But somewhere in there, the ball got dropped. I don't know by who, but the ball got dropped. Now here it is, Erica, she's the head of TPUSA, which is in control of Blexit. So it's like she almost won, as far as she got Charlie. They're married. Charlie was in love with her. They got 2 kids together. Now she's running TPUSA. Now she's also running all these other corporations that's under the umbrella of TPUSA. And what do you have? And I'm not saying it as far as you have nothing, but you have what you want to be in the forefront. You want all the light to be on you. You want everyone to be talking about Candace. And that's what you want. A narcissist really don't stand on truth. They stand on feelings. This is what I feel. This is what I was thinking. This is what it looks like to me. That's what a narcissist stands on. They don't stand on fact. When you come at them with fact, they will try to divert and go in a different way. You have to say, no. Okay, yeah, that's fine. The car was blue, but where was the car going? How did you see the car? Where were you in the, you have to just keep trying to drill down on them. No, we're not getting off this topic until you tell me what you're trying to say happened, but you wasn't there. So how do you have all this information? Show me what you've seen to make you feel like you know everything and you're 100% correct about what you're saying. Because she doesn't have that information, she can't go to TPUSA. Then the second part to that is she don't know what Erica know. She don't know what Charlie have been saying to Erica about her. And that brings fear in her, because you see how she's talking on it like, oh, rah. I'm going to war with TPUSA. I want all the smoke. Oh, Erica agrees with me, because if Erica didn't agree with me, she would have told me to leave it alone, and I would have left it alone. She got all this. Now she got an opportunity to go to war face to face with them, to get all the smoke face to face with them. It's a difference from talking on the camera or face to face with someone. With a narcissist, you have to speak to them face to face. You can't give them an opportunity to run. You seeing this, okay, we're going to have a conversation about this, and when we leave here, there should be everything should be cleared out. Everything should be aired out. There should be nobody wondering about anything, because I have proof on my side, just like you're saying you have proof on your side. And how Candace is moving, like I said, she don't want the smoke, because she would be there if she wanted the smoke. She's just talking because she's just speaking. Everything she's speaking about is speculatory. She has no proof, or she would have showed proof. Everybody keep talking about text message. Okay, 2018 text message. Do that prove what he thought about after 2019, after she got married? What kind of conversations she was having then? Once he got married in 2021, what kind of conversations they was having then? I'm sure every opportunity Charlie got, because his schedule was real busy, he wasn't tweeting and texting with Candace. I'm sure he was spending that quality time with his wife and his kids, making opportunities to be with them and deal with everything else he had to deal with. And then she's going back to they were stealing the money from Turning Point USA. That may be true. I don't know that. But you know how you could find that out? Do a forensic investigation. That's the only way you're going to find out where the money, how much money they receive, where the money went that they received, and then they can go from there. But unless she has that proof, she can't go speaking about what she knows when she really doesn't know, because she's not an accountant. She's not a forensic accountant. So she can't go on that. And so Candace is just doing a lot of talking because she is a very divisive person. And she doesn't want, it seems like she just doesn't want other people to be happy. When Charlie died, no one had an opportunity to peacefully grieve Charlie. It's because of what Candace started doing. She didn't even wait a whole month, 30 days, and say, okay, 30 days has gone by. I'm going to do this investigation to find out who assassinated Charlie. If everybody is doing what they're supposed to do to find out who assassinated Charlie. 30 days. She can even let Erica grieve in peace for 30 days. People under her comment want her to go after Erica, want her to tear Erica down because of stuff she's saying. People are sitting there looking at Erica through a microscope as if she did something wrong, because of what Candace have insinuated about TPUSA, about Erica, because Erica is part of that company, and she's saying that company betrayed him, betrayed Charlie. But like I said, you don't know the conversations Erica and Charlie had since he stopped texting you back in 2018, the texts you are able to break up. You know, like I said, you don't know what kind of pillow talks they've been having. You don't know what conversations he said about you. You don't know these types of things. But Erica do. And so you don't want Erica to come out, because I'm sure if Charlie did say something about you, Erica is not going to say it. She may or may not, but I'm sure she's not going to say it, because of the type of person that she is, or the type of person she's trying to be as far as being a Christian. But you don't care about being divisive. You don't care about other people's feelings. The only person you care about is yourself. And the only time you mention your husband is when you need him as an excuse why you can't show up on the 15th. Everything else, you sitting there talking about Charlie this, oh, I remember when me and Charlie did this, me and Charlie did that. Like you didn't have a husband. Like you don't have a husband. Because that's very, very disrespectful to your husband, how you're talking about another man. It's one thing to say, I'm curious about what happened to him. I'm doing these investigations to find out what happened to him. But to be sitting there with a smile on your face and just batting your eyes about, oh, me and Charlie, I remember when me and Charlie was texting this. I remember when me and Charlie was texting that. You're doing that to undermine Erica Kirk. But at the same time, you're disrespecting your husband. So that shows you what type of person you are, because you don't care about his feelings in order to hurt Erica's feelings. Narcissistic. And like always, keep Jesus first.